Today in Luther's Kitchen, I'm making baked samosas, and I've already combined flour and olive oil, and I've just worked the flour and the olive oil together, rubbing them together, and then I added a little bit of kosher salt and then water. I'm now going to work the dough, getting everything combined so that it fully pulls away from the bowl before kneading it on the counter. You want to knead the dough until it is very smooth. This may take about 5 minutes, and then you are going to put it in a oil-lined bowl and cover with plastic wrap or a towel. Let it sit for about 30 minutes. Now I'm prepping some veggies. I'm going to be using some onion and jalapeno that I'm going to start sweating with a little bit of olive oil over medium-high heat. I want to cook the veggies first before adding in my protein. So the veggies really need to sweat for about 5 minutes, and at that point you can add in some seasoning. So in this case, I'm using some minced garlic. I'm also adding a little bit of cumin, a little bit of coriander, kosher salt, and freshly ground black pepper. Once my veggies are translucent, or my onions are translucent, I'm going to add my protein in, and in this case, I'm using plant-based protein, but you could easily use ground beef, ground chicken, even ground turkey. Everything works fine, but you want to make sure that all the particles of whatever protein you're using are very fine. So get in there and mash it all up. Once your protein is fully cooked, you want to drop in peas. And in this case, I don't even defrost them because I know the heat that's in the pan is going to defrost the peas, so these are just frozen peas. You can also use cooked diced potatoes. That works wonderful in the samosa as well. Once the mixture is fully cooked, you need to let it cool. While it's cooling, you can begin working on your dough. So remove the dough from the bowl. I'm preparing a large baking sheet pan with oil, generously oiling it. Since I'm not frying these, the oil is going to be the fat that's going to give the samosas some color and some additional flavor as it bakes. So I'm taking that dough and I'm dividing it into 6 equal parts. I'm rolling each part of dough into a circle, not a perfect circle as you can see. And then I'm just using a bench scraper to make triangles or to cut the dough into fourths. I know I'm supposed to be making a cone shape and filling the cone, but honestly, I couldn't figure it out. So this is the best that I could do. So I'm putting about 2 tablespoons worth of the mixture in each triangle. And then I'm going to carefully bring the corners together so that I can tuck all of the filling in without it leaking out. So I'm trying to kind of wrap it like a mummy. That was how I was thinking of it as I was doing it. And if your dough doesn't stick together, you may need to wet your fingers with a little bit of water and then just secure the dough with the water so that it becomes more of a glue. Now, I had to use the bench scraper to get all of my little samosas off the counter because I didn't use flour. I didn't want to put too much flour on them because I'm baking them, so I didn't want to have a floury exterior. And here you can see me moistening the border, the perimeter of each of these dough pockets before I fold them over and then put the flap over the top. Again, this is not the authentic way to make them, but this was the best I could do. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Now that all the samosas are assembled, I've preheated my oven to 375 degrees, making sure it's rockin' hot. This made 24 samosas, so I used 2 sheet pans, again, that were generously oiled with olive oil, or you could use canola oil. And while the oven was preheating, I brushed the tops of all the samosas with some more oil. I baked them for about 10 minutes, pulled them out, brushed them again with some oil, and popped them back in the oven or until they were golden brown and I could tell that they were as crispy as they were going to get. For this recipe and more, visit myclasscancook.com.